Greetings Internet, and welcome back to another Early Mornings. It's your old buddy Oxleymations coming at you again with another Goodwill haul video. And it finally happened. It finally happened. Now, y'all are probably just like, what's he talking about? Is he okay? Well, some of you guys and gals and all of the configurations being may have seen videos involving video game hauls and stuff that people get from Goodwill, and all those glorious fabled epic haul videos of games where it's like they just have a huge assortment of games that they picked up. It finally happened to this guy. I finally got mine. Now, compared to some of the other ones, it's not that spectacular, but I found over 28 good and somewhat, hard to find and rare games. But I don't really care if they're rare or not. I mean, I've stated this before. If it's a bad game, but it's rare, I'm not going to pick it up, even if it's for really cheap, unless I want to sell it for money or something. I look for games that interest me. So, with that said, right here off camera, I have a huge stack, and I mean, woga boga, this is big. Here, I think I can safely pick up the stack. All of this in one shot. So let's get started with that, shall we? Now, first, when my sister and I went to Goodwill, I happened to notice in the glass case in the front that there was one of those clear plastic bags with a couple games in it. A couple PS1 titles, which unfortunately don't have the original cases, but whatever. The first one I found was Disney's Lilo and Stitch for the PlayStation 1. There you go. Which again, unfortunately, is missing the case. It doesn't actually even have a manual, it just has this little GameStop sleeve thingamajiggy. Good shape, figured that was worth keeping, or worth getting a hold of. The second one that they had in that bag was a copy of the game whose soundtrack is playing right now, Muppet Race Mania. And this one, thankfully, actually even had the original instruction book, which was a nice surprise. Again, in good condition. And the fact that these two games together were in a bag for $3, you can't go wrong. Even if they're not good games, Now, next, I picked up, my sister and I went through the rest of the store looking around at stuff, checking out the CD rack, which is where I find some of my other, weird PlayStation 1 titles, like, hold on just a moment here, I've got a couple, Chica and Golden Freddy. Come on, where did I put you? Oh, I know it's here somewhere. Other random titles, such as these two, which I'm about to show you. I found other random games like Woody Woodpecker Racing. Terrible game, mind you. Do not pick this up. It is garbage. And Tom and Jerry. This one's actually not bad. You're basically just playing as Tom and or Jerry in an episode of Tom and Jerry, setting up traps and stuff to foil the cat and or the mouse. But anyway, I'm getting off topic of the games I got this time. Another game I picked up, moving on to, I'm getting myself off topic. Okay, so I went to the CD rack, like I usually do, looking for old PS1 games and computer games and stuff. And unfortunately, I didn't find anything over there. There was a couple, GameCube games, and a couple PlayStation 2 games, but they're those crappy, like Madden football and sports games, and who likes those? My apologies to any of my fans who actually like those kind of games, but I'm not personally a fan. I only have a couple because I got them for free with a bunch of other games from my uncle. Regardless, there's nothing there. So we're going around the rest of the store, I'm looking around. In one spot, I found a nifty little trinket for my roommate. A Yu-Gi-Oh card holder box thing that's meant to look like a nice shiny golden book, which apparently used to house the Yu-Gi-Oh Master Collection set. I'm almost positive y'all won't be able to see that because this thing's so freaking shiny. And at $4, I figured, you know, why not? And still going around the store, my sister's looking at stuff, you know, checking out the clothes and whatever, and she and I happened to go towards the back of the store, and for those of you who probably don't go to Goodwill, sometimes they have carts of stuff they just brought out from the back where they have all the donations that are put in. And on this cart, I nearly had a heart attack because I saw games. And I'm not just talking about, like, you know, those Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker racing type games. No, I'm talking about, like, some good games. So I'm starting to go through this, or, you know, I make a beeline for this thing like it's going out of style. And this is where I found the mother lode. Oh, I was so excited. So without further ado, and that was an odd sound. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into the rest of them. So again, first games I found in the front thing, bagged together, $3 for Muppet Race Mania and Lilo and Stitch for the PlayStation 1. And then on that cart, I'm just going to go through these games. I've kind of ordered them and put them in order from systems. First system I have here for is Dissidia Final Fantasy for the PlayStation Portable. And mind you, most of these games were $3 a piece. There's only two different games in this pile right here which were over 3. One was 8 and one was 10, and you'll see which ones those are. But again, Dissidia Final Fantasy for the PlayStation Portable, complete in box, disc in pretty good shape. PSP Greatest Hits Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, again complete in the box. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 in the original boxes, complete. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And this one I've heard was a pretty good find, so I'm happy about it, but at the same time I'm just kind of, it's mine now. Shin Megami Tensei Persona PSP Edition, complete with the original 2-disc soundtrack. In the original box. $8. Now, we're moving on to the 2 Wii titles I found. And those ones are No More Heroes and Mad World. Again, complete in the box, decent shape. Most of the, I should note, most of these discs are mint or near mint. So, yeah. Alright, moving on to GameCube games now. We have Killer 7, which I picked up for $5. And what really irritated me about that is all the other games, all the other GameCube games on the shelf were $3. This was the only one that was $5. I didn't notice it at the time. They got me. So, with that being said, Killer 7 for GameCube. Then I have Metroid Prime Echoes for the GameCube. Beautiful Joe. Ultimate Spider-Man. And this was the one, this is the one when I found it that I almost, I almost soiled myself. Super Smash Melee. And look right there. See that number right there? In the reflection? That $3 right there. When I saw that and I saw the price, I was like, even if I hadn't have found any of these other games and I just found that, I would have been happy. Because the game store, the exchange game store that I've spoken of in a couple of my other videos, would be selling that particular title for 65 bucks because they're jerks like that. And I've been wanting to get a copy of that, but I did not want to spend that kind of cash. And now, for $3, I was like, thank you. Alright, but yeah, that was the last of the GameCube games that I picked up. There were 2 other titles. One was a snowboarding title. One was the other Metroid Prime game, the original. And I wasn't really interested in that one because I've already got a copy. So yeah. Well, there were also more PSP games, God of War 2, and about like 5 others that I don't really care about, which might have actually been worth something, but again, I don't care about them enough. Alright, now on to the PlayStation 2 titles, like I think I just said. First up, Resident Evil 4 for the PS2. Greatest Hits Tekken 5. And I just threw it on the floor. Excuse me. Bad hand. Then we have Time Crisis 2. Kingdom Hearts 2. Sorry if y'all just kind of got glared by that. But that is a very shiny cover. Apparently it's an original copy because it doesn't have that fancy red greatest hits thing going on for it. And then I got the Jak and Daxter trilogy. Jak the Precursor Legacy. Or I'm sorry, Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy. Jak 2, and Jak 3. Okay, moving on. We have Devil May Cry, the original. Ico, I think, is the title of this one, or ICO, however you pronounce that. It just looks like an interesting game. I mean, look at the guy on the cover. He's got a wooden sword, and he's got a hat with horns on it. I'm a kook. I like weird things. I'm a kooky kind of guy. And then, second to last on the pile, I got Shadow of the Colossus, which I've heard good things about, and I already know the ending where it's actually you're the bad guy killing off all these gentle giants that aren't actually doing anything. So, no surprises there. And lastly, well, no, not lastly, last for the games, I picked up the Metal Gear Solid Essential Collection. And for those not in the loop, this includes PS2 versions of the original Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and I believe this one was actually from the PlayStation 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. Complete with the original card sleeve, or game sleeve. So just going to quickly put those in there. Box again, all nice and neat. Okay, so that was it for all the games that I picked up yesterday. So So let's move on to the last two things that I picked up. Now again, mind you, $3 a piece. I was able to procure 2 GameCube controllers. Now, I haven't actually tested these to work, but even if they, if they're kind of janky and busted, $3 a piece, you can't go wrong. And most of the time you can fix this stuff pretty easily. Alright. Now, sorry if that was kind of boring and whatnot, going through all those games where I'm just like, this, that, and the other. But, I'm trying my best. I'm really trying to be more entertaining. So with all of that out of the way, at least I think that was everything. Yes, that was all the gaming stuff. So I think my video game collection now is at least over 400 games, possibly closer to 5. I can't be sure, because the last time I counted it was over 300. It's over 300! Anyway. Now moving on to my obligatory, what I'm having for breakfast. This morning, I'm having some strawberry frosted shredded wheats. Check that action out. Yeah. I did that thing again, where I have my food sitting off to the side to do that bit, and the cereal gets soggy. And if you've never had soggy shredded wheat, it's not the best thing in the world, because the texture. And to wash it all down with, thankfully, I have a nice bottle of water here. Alright, so, anyways, my beautiful people, thank you all so much for watching and coming back to another episode. I do greatly appreciate the views I get. So, on that note, everyone, cowabunga, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.